Hey, this is Prometheus giving you another formation breakdown. This is out of the legendary playbook, Brian Belichick. It's the Guns Double. Guns Double was a formation I used a lot in previous Maddens. I have kind of gravitated away from it because of this past year I've been basically rolling through every single playbook when I actually play online. Let's take a look at the audibles really quick. Alright, so Guns Double actually comes with a halfback off tackle as one of their base plays. You also have got the play action dagger, which is really nice because you got a deep in route. And if you complement that correctly, you actually can get some pretty good yards. Got slants. It allows me to go ahead and attack my opponent on the left hand side by actually taking the triangle wide receiver, the slot receiver, and actually putting him on a streak. That gives me a slant streak concept. I've got verticals as one of my other base plays. I can go ahead and do some crossing routes with guys going down the seams. But let's take a look at some of the plays I'm actually going to use as base. The base plays I'm going to break down just for this. If I was going to go ahead and use a run, I've got an off tackle. There's no reason to use a 45 quick base. I'd probably just use a halfback mid draw as one of my base plays. Obviously the slip screen is very good, especially if you audible up. The two plays I'm going to break down is going to be the angle smash and then also X dig. I like the X dig just because of the reads, and that's one of the plays I'm really going to look forward to breaking down. Alright, so base play that I'm going to break down for you is going to be the X dig. The reason why I like this is because I've got a flat and a curl concept on the right hand side, also with a tight end that's actually going down the middle of the seam. The only adjustment to do is the slot wide receiver that's actually on a whip right now. I'm going to actually put him into a slant route. That actually gives me a fourth receiver in that area just in case the area is flooded. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my wide receiver. Now, if you do notice, I've got Pitta and Daniels in this formation, and the reason I've got two tight ends just gives me another blocker. If I was to go into an off tackle, I can go ahead and take Pitta and turn this into basically another nice blocker right there to be able to pick up some pretty good yards. So that's why I'm actually going with two tight ends on this. So the adjustment on this play essentially is I'm going to go ahead and take Pitta. I'm going to put him on a slant route. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Smith. Now Smith has got this option curl route. Now if he actually cuts inside the hash markers, or actually where the 30 is at, and falls into that little zone, I'm going to go ahead and look to check down, or actually read that. Now if the defender falls into Smith's area, I'll actually go ahead and look for the check down with 4 set. Daniels essentially is a clear route. I'm not necessarily going to go ahead and look at him. Then my third read, my third progression is going to be Pitta. Now, if Smith Sr. runs straight up, that generally means it's man coverage, and I'm going to try to pop him immediately. So my read is really going to be watching Smith immediately and seeing what he does. As you can see right here, actually he runs straight up against my defender, so as a result, I'm going to go ahead and take the easy 10 yards. So I'm going to come back to this play again. There's off coverage right here, and as you can see, Smith actually go ahead and take easy 10 yards. Now I've got two defenders in the area right there. As you can see, actually Smith actually goes on a little angle route. I'm going to go ahead and check down him. He's my first read. Now, if there's a defender actually taking away Smith, I'll check down and actually go ahead and hit 4 set for an easy 5 or 6 yards. Now, as you can see, the coverage is actually rolled. It's probably got some kind of a blitz on the backside, and it is. And actually, I've got that crossing route by Pitta to be able to pick up an easy 10 yards. So, what I like about this particular formation is I can attack my opponent on the right-hand side. I've got easy, fast progressions against my opponent, and he actually has to really start focusing on the right-hand side of the field. Alright, so the next play we're going to look at is going to be the angle smash. You've got obviously the running back is actually on the Texas route, which is an angle route. You've got an out route, and you also have the smash route. Now, really there's many things I can do on the back side right here. I can go ahead and take Pitta and put him on a hitch route, hot rod him for a little bit more depth, and if I've got man coverage, I know I'm going to be able to pick up some pretty easy yards right there. If I've got coverage across the middle where I see all the defenders, you can see Pitta right there, he's actually getting pressed, so it's most likely man coverage. What I can do is take Smith to actually clear him out of the area, and then I've got the corner route that actually overthrew by Flacco, but as you can see, that's what we read against any kind of man coverage. Now, what I could do is I can go ahead and leave Smith in the hook route and actually pick that up off the left-hand side. And then obviously I've got the angle to Texas route combination is phenomenal. It's good money, and it really forces your opponent to actually go ahead and adjust to that. Basically, that combination of the out and the Texas route, your opponent's going to have to put defenders in the area to be able to stop it. As you can see, that route just develops so quick, it's going to be hard to stop. So that's just another nice route that you can do against your opponent. All right, so the rest of the audibles, I've got slants, I've got 4 verticals. I don't want to break these play down. I do want to break down play action dagger, primarily because it's going to be attacking the left side of the field. I'm going to do the following adjustment. I'm going to go ahead and take my running back. I'm going to go ahead and put him on a comeback route or a hook route out of the backfield, primarily because it just gives me a read progression underneath in case there's defenders actually falling back where I want. Now, my read is going to be that deep out route. As you can see, that deep out route gets 15 yards. That's a big chunk of change. I've got Pitta going up the seam that should clear any kind of yellow zone out of the way, and I should be able to hit Smith. Now, if a defender is still floating the area around Smith, I actually can go ahead and see if Pitt is available. If not, I can check down to Forsett. And then I've also got the underneath route, which is going to be the drag route with Daniels. But my progression is going to be Smith first for the dig route. I'll look for Daniels coming underneath, and then obviously I can check down to Forsett. So with this, I've got the dig route, and against the right coverage, I can pick up an easy 15-20 yards on that dig. As you can see right here, the dig route is just going to be monster against any kind of plays, and looking to pick up a good 20 yards on that. And then I've got the deep crossing route right there because those defenders all fell back into my dig route and zones. And then I've got obviously the underneath just as a check down, pick up a good 7 or 8 yards right there. So this is a fairly easy scheme to run. You've got obviously a couple of base plays you can call. I can hit them with a slip screen if I wanted to do it. I've got a wide receiver screen, but the doubles is always a very good scheme that you can use against your opponent. So I'll be using this in my next gameplay. I hope you guys like this scheme. Please go ahead and hit the like button if you do like me building up these schemes for you. Also, please comment if you have any kind of comments you have on these particular schemes. Once again, to all my subscribers, I really appreciate your support, and until next time.